Well, welcome everybody. Good evening to you in India. I believe it's around 8 p.m. standard time, your marketplace. My name is Dave Ives. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time with you today. I'm here in the United Kingdom, and many of you, not only in the Indian market, but from around the world, are joining us tonight, but also will be joining us on a replay. So if you're watching live, welcome to you. If you're watching on a replay because someone's thought enough of you to give you the recording, then hello to you as well. Well, my goal today is very simply share a little bit about my story with Zinzino, of these incredible best-in-class products and the opportunity that's attached to that, that may just find yourself in a position where you would like to capitalize, to be part of this wellness revolution that's not just come into India, but is already sweeping the globe before we officially launched in your market just a few short weeks ago. As I said, my name is Dave Ives. I'm a Royal Crown with Zinzino, but haven't always been with this company. My background is sports, a chef by profession, and a caterer has always been how I made my conventional money from being an owner and a chef in a restaurant. But someone thought enough of me several years ago that offered me an opportunity to build a business of my own without jeopardizing anything that I had going as a primary focus. You see, tonight we're going to talk about some incredible products. We're also going to share with you some success principles that may serve you. So tonight, if you're watching, I'm hoping that you've been invited to take a look because someone has asked you two questions. One, is health important to you? Because the first half of the presentation, we're going to talk about these best-in-class pharmaco test-based nutritional products that you now have access to in the Indian market. The second question may be, do you keep your options open to business ventures? Because there is a company that is now launched in the Indian market that's a publicly traded company, and they're looking for wellness entrepreneurs who have a desire to make a difference in the world as well as their market in India. Now, we totally understand that right now, not just in India, although you're experiencing some severe issues with health and the pandemic, but that pandemic has been a global, unprecedented phenomenon. And so our thoughts are with you, our prayers are with you, but I would encourage you to do this. If for a moment, just park what is going on in your market, because I want to show an opportunity that will be here way beyond when you come through the other side. See, people who are looking regardless of environment and circumstances. Now, we must address the immediate, but we must also plan for the futures. So let's kick off. Zinzino is an exciting opportunity. Zinzino is I've already mentioned, a publicly traded company. Now, prior to opening in India a few short weeks ago, we already were operating fully in over 37 markets. You can see that on the screen with the purple coloring, and they're called proudly, the Indian flag shines above all. Now, those previous markets, those 37 markets, have about 1 billion people in them. And what we're about to show you is going to show you that within those 37 markets, 950 million, about 95% of those markets need what we have. So what we're coming to India with is tried and tested. But that 1 billion people potential has just now almost tripled because India has opened. Zinzino is a publicly traded company. It's listed on the NASDAQ. We're an affiliate with authorizations that regulate this industry, because there's a lot of companies in this industry that aren't performing legitimately. So you can be very proud when you make the decision to potentially partner with Zinzino and the individual invited you, of a legitimate company that's actually leading the way in test-based nutrition. In fact, we just announced our annual report of 2019 to 2020, which showed growth of 48%. So we have a very strong foundation. But as we prepared ourselves to open the Indian market, we made sure that everything was in place. Our company name was registered. We were licensed. The products have been passed. We have our own distribution center, warehousing, and we have already affiliated and aligned ourselves with 2 major shipping organizations within your market. Our payment provider is about to be released in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, don't hold me to that 100%. The ink is drying, the I's have been dotted, and the T's have been crossed, but there may be some little pieces of paperwork that may have been overlooked, may have not been understood. So when I say 2 to 3 weeks, allow a little bit of flexibility. We believe it's going to be within that, but give it some grace. But everything else is in place. And as of the 6th of April, we are now officially trading in the Indian market. Now, whether you're in India, around the world, in Britain, where I am today, whether you're in the United States, where Hetal, our host today, is actually on the West Coast, no matter where we are, we as human beings, I believe, want the same. We want to be healthy. We want an active life. We want a prosperous life. We want the longevity of life, but with a good quality and standard of living. Now, that's truly not the case today. Yes, we're going through a global pandemic, but if we forget about that just for a moment, think about this. Prior to just over a year ago, the world being informed about this pandemic, the world status in a health aspect was the most unhealthiest it's ever been. There's more degenerative diseases than we've ever seen before, skin conditions, heart ailments, brain conditions, yet that doesn't make sense. Today, we're the most sophisticated as a human species has ever been. We have access to more knowledge than ever before. We have globalization, meaning we are one village, and yet we are the sickest we've ever been. And I'm hoping today, through this presentation, that you'll start to allow your thinking to start to ask a very important question. Why is that the case? Well, let's go back several thousand years where Hippocrates stated, let your food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Well, that was said several thousand years ago. Well, just stop for a moment. Forget everything that we've been taught, everything that we've learned, everything that we see, everything that we read, everything that we point and click and allow into our thinking. Just think, look around the world. Is the world living by Hippocrates' speech over 300,000-400,000 years ago? Well, 300 or 400 years ago, 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. It really doesn't matter. Just ask yourself the question, are we living today by letting food be our medicine and medicine be our food? Because the reality is, the answer is no. But only a short period of time, less than about 150 years ago, we were still living that way. Most of the food that we consumed was from Mother Nature. And so through that aspect of consumption, we saw a balanced diet. You know, the right amount of vitamins, the beta glucans, the fibers, the micronutrients, everything was in harmony, and especially our essential fatty acids. Well, less than 60 years ago, we saw the advancement of preservatives, man-made foods, colorings, flavorings. All these things brought a heightened environment, choice, experience, unbeknown to us that several decades later, there would be a consequence of that. See, we had more choice. We had products that would sit on the shelf longer because of what they were putting in the product to preserve it. We had exciting, vibrant colors, but what we missed was the nutrient value in those products. Higher calories, lower nutritional value, and most definitely the essential fatty acids that we were consuming from a natural diet was now in compromise. In fact, a lot of the processed foods we eat today, I can only speak for Britain, 51% of every Briton in the United Kingdom has 51% of every Brit in the United Kingdom intake is processed foods. What does that mean? That simply means that processed foods has a very high level of omega-6, which is very inflammatory, and very low content of omega-3. So all of a sudden, when we were eating naturally, we had that balance of essential fatty acids. We saw the introduction of an imbalance taking place. So if we think about this, essential fatty acids are that for that reason. They're essential, but our body doesn't produce them. We were born in balance, but from that point forward, we have to consume our essential fatty acids through our consumption of food. Well, science has shown that that ratio of 1-to-1, which is how we are naturally born, we have the privilege, we have the grace to allow that gap to widen to about 3-to-1, but no more. But through that introduction of processed foods back about 50, 60 years ago, we started to see that gap widening. We call that the turning point. 4-to-1, we start to see now chronic inflammation. Here's the reality. The average Indian is 27-to-1 out of balance. And those who are choosing veganism as their preference of consumption are over 40-to-1 out of balance. And it's progressively getting worse every decade. But why is that the case? Well, because we may feel that we're maybe eating fish, but we could be eating the wrong fish. We may be using oil, but the wrong type of oil. So the reality is our diet is playing a major part in the chronic inflammation that Indians are experiencing. And by the way, this is not pick on the Indian day. We are the same around the world. We're just excited that we're able to bring this message to you because we want to help as many in your market to regain their health. So the conclusion of being out of balance, not consuming the right nutrients, is there's a consequence. Now, most of us won't see or feel that consequence until 1, it's too late. And we don't want that to happen. 2, that it impairs the quality of our life. These degenerative diseases that we are living with today, that most are now going along to their practitioner, their doctor, and being medicated through the pharmaceutical route rather than the pharmaconutritional, eating the right way. So when our omega-6 and 3s are out of balance, it affects our quality of life and lifespan dramatically. So we want to help you achieve a balanced diet. And for most people, this means very simply increasing our omega-3 intake and reducing the amount of 6 in our diet. Because if we don't, very simply, by reducing the function of our cellular membrane, jeopardizes the quality of our life. You see, back to that ratio of 1-to-1, 3-to-1, but that turning point of 4-to-1, every cell membrane allows nutrients to be absorbed into the cell, for the cell to do what it needs to do to process the goodness and disperse what we need around our body, and the waste that is not required to be allowed to be dispersed and got rid of. But that membrane that allows nutrients in and waste out, if it is higher than 3-to-1 in ratio, then that membrane starts to become rigid. So nutrients have to really work hard to get into the cell. And for many, it doesn't achieve it. And so we could be eating the right foods, we could be taking great supplements, but if we are out of balance with our fatty ratio, acid ratio, then the nutrients will simply pass up through our bodies. And so if you are someone who invests money on nutrition, supplements, and think that you're okay, you don't know what's happening on a cellular level. And for us to achieve a healthy cell, we must be at least a 3-to-1 ratio so we can have great absorption and great processing of those nutrients that we are consuming. So the opportunity for you in the Indian market and for us to work alongside you is to ask people, is health important to them? And if it is, how do they know what they are presently taking, consuming, purchasing is working on a cellular level? Because what we see isn't always the indicator of the reality. See, I put it in a very simplistic way. Many people will spend more money polishing their car to impress people they don't like than they do changing the oil. Now, I don't know if you've ever driven a vehicle. I'm sure you have, or you know people that have, or you've played this emotional mental game with ourselves where we are driving and the fuel light will come on and we'll say, I wonder how far I can go. We'll see the oil light come up and we'll go, you know what, we'll do that at the weekend. But life takes over and it's not a priority. It's not important. It's a light on the dashboard, but we'll spend more time detailing our car, polishing our car, and we'll neglect the engine. Eventually, something dramatic is going to happen. You're going to have a very good looking car on your drive that can't go anywhere because the engine has blown up. And you and I are no different. We've lived for the last 5 or 10 decades, people being impressed by the way you look, shape, lack of body mass, muscular definition, your fitness. But fitness doesn't mean you're healthy. And so as Zinzino comes to the Indian market, we want to remove all that doubt that you are in the most optimum health on a cellular level. And the great thing, it doesn't hurt to find out. Why? Because through our test-based nutrition, we offer a money-back guarantee that applies to all customers that are on a subscription model. If they take the test and they subscribe to the product, and after their first test is taken and it's returned and they are 3 to 1 or less, even though they would have started consuming this product, they can return it all with a 100% money back guarantee. Let me ask you a serious question. Is your health important enough to get tested to remove any doubt that if you don't need it, you've got a 100% money back guarantee? So this test has already been performed. Are you ready for this? This slide is now out of date. As of yesterday, we have now tested 647,000 individuals in the last 8 years. So as we launched India on April the 6th, you were not going to be the first person ever tested. We are coming to India because we want to help the people of India. We want to bring real test-based products for those who say their health is important to them. And this test is analyzed by a leading laboratory. Vitas is based out of a university out in Oslo, Norway. And the founder, CEO, Thomas Goodison, had a vision. Are you ready for this? Had a vision nearly 30 years ago to produce the ability to test every aspect of our cellular health through independent testing. And so over the last 15 years, 20 years, his vision has become a reality. And Zinzino, a pharmaco-nutritional company, uses that laboratory independently. So this is not a Zinzino test. This is a test by a laboratory that tests for governments, medical institutions, educational organizations, and many branded blue chip companies that you can see on the screen. And by taking a very small bit of dry blood spot on a card and sending it to the laboratory, within 2 to 3 weeks, you will have an absolute status of your cellular health. And when you get your personal results, you're going to be able to track and monitor your progression. Now, that blood is going to be tested for 11 aspects of essential fatty acid. You can see a few aspects of it on the screen there on the left-hand side. My first blood result was 14.4 to 1, and I was severely, chronically inflamed. And our results have shown globally there is not one continent around the world that is actually in good health when we talk cellular health. And India will be no exception. So there is a major problem. So what do we do about it? Well, there's a doctor by the name of Paul Clayton. He, over the last 5 decades, has dedicated his life in proving that the importance of when we are in balance with our essential fatty acids, we will reduce many ailments that we are living with today. We will start to reverse many ailments that we are living today. And in some cases, we will eradicate some of the conditions we are living with today. Again, my second invitation to you to pause and think. Are there conditions today that the human species is living with outside of the pandemic that we are experiencing? Are there other conditions, degenerative conditions, that were not around 100 years ago? The answer, my friends, is yes. Therefore, if they were not around prior to that, we can confidently say they are man-made diseases. Therefore, if they are man-made diseases, we can find out what caused them and reverse it. And today, majority of diseases today are based around chronic inflammation. And Dr. Paul Clayton, with the scientific board he's put together with some great minds within this field of nutrition, over the last several years has actually produced our nutritional test-based system with some of our patented products. I am holding in my hand, you don't have it yet, is a lemon vegan bottle. But right now, we have our flagship product that you can get your hands on in the Indian market. What they discovered was by taking our balanced product within 120 days, we can reduce that inflammation in our bodies and start to restore the way we should be feeling. So in 120 days, you'll get a second test and you'll retest, and you'll have 2 independent blood tests so you can compare your starting point and then how this product has worked for you and brought you back into balance within 120 days. So this is our unique test product. It's a world first. See, I want you to understand, omegas are vital for our health. Omega products are not new, but ours is not an omega product. Ours is a balanced oil solution. It has many omegas in it. It has vitamin D, vitamin E, but most importantly, the discovery of Dr. Paul Clayton and how we can share with you how we can help people come back into balance in 120 days was a discovery that omegas on their own do not work. They oxidize. But in Mother Nature, omega comes from algae. And in that algae, the omega lives or cohabitates or is chaperoned by a thing called a polyphenol. It's like a coating. It's like an antioxidant. But when humans catch fish and they manufacture the fish and clean them and produce omega products, they naturally have to go through a cleansing process. The plastics, the contamination, but in that process, those manufacturers extract the polyphenols in error and do not put them back in. So you take your money, we understand omegas are important, and yet omegas don't work. They are simply taking fish oil. So what Paul Clayton discovered is by putting the polyphenols back into a solution, now the omega is protected and now it doesn't oxidize. Therefore, it can be effective in our bloodstream and it can get to our cellular level to do what it needs to do to keep that membrane permeable so our nutrition can be absorbed. And we use only the highest quality of wild, caught, small fish the herring, the mackerel, the anchovies. And we do it as responsibly as possible. And this is a document just showing you where we purchase our product oil from. But here is our USP. We select pre-harvested olives from the southern regions of Spain. They are cold pressed and added back into our solution. In fact, over 750 milligrams of polyphenols are put back into our balanced oil. And therefore, it protects the omega. Therefore, it doesn't oxidize all the way into the membrane. So when you understand why ours is uniquely different, independently tested and validated, you will never take another omega-3 product in the world. So this is your opportunity. Is health important to you? Well, then you can have the unique opportunity to be some of the very first customers in India. Our warehouse is ready to ship bottles of oil to everyone around India, and you have a number of options. We have a retail price where people can just buy randomly, periodically, or we reward those customers who commit to their health. And we have a subscription model. So you can see significantly by committing to one's health, you can actually save over 50% in your initial purchase. So if you were on subscription, you buy the product, you sign up as a customer, for 15,500 Indian rupees, you'll get 2 blood tests, world-class blood tests. You get four bottles of oil, 2 large 300 mils and 2 little 100 mils. Now that'll come out on your first order with 1 test, and the second test will be sent in 120 days for you to retest. So in your first shipment, you get some products to kickstart your health campaign. Remember that 15,500 Indian rupees has a 100% money back guarantee. If you are 3 to 1 or less, you can return the products once you get the results and get your money back. But if you are out of balance, well, then you've already subscribed to our monthly subscription. We suggest be on the product for at least 6 months. It takes 4 months to come back into balance for most, but heavier people like me may take longer. People that aren't consistent, who forget to take it, may take a little bit longer. So we suggest subscribe for 6 months and you'll get a reduction in cost of that bottle of oil. Retail is 4,999 rupees, but because you're a committed customer on subscription, you will save significantly and only have to pay 2,950 rupees. Now, we also have a customer pack without a test. So you can see there's a significant difference in the cost of kickstarting your campaign. But here's the thing. If you don't take a test, you won't know your starting point. If you don't take a test, you won't be able to retest to see how it's worked. Because if you are a customer who wants to know that your money is well spent, then it's the test that will independently prove, 1, you need it, 2, it's worked for you. So that's our incredible product. Our Ascent oil is now live in India. And within, again, a bit like the credit card payment solution, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, within the next 2 or 3 months, we're hoping to see the vegan option be also available in the Indian market. So our products are world-class. In fact, they are produced at such a high standard that we are CMP certified, meaning we are randomly checked. Our batches of production are spontaneously inspected. So you can have peace of mind that you have the best in class test-based nutritional products. We're also socially aware of what's important to people. You know, non-GMO, soy-free, halal certified. So you can see for yourself that this is no ordinary product. It is world-class and the best in class that we are bringing to your market. Now, I made a very bold statement a moment ago saying the omega products we need. but omega products don't work. And the reason is because they don't have that protection with the polyphenols. So you can see people will spend their money on krill oil, concentrated oil, cod liver oil, with the intention and understanding that they are doing what they need to do to improve their health. Unbeknown to them, they have no idea it's not working. So if you are already an omega user, you need to get tested. Why wouldn't you want to get tested to see if what you're taking is working? Because once you test, you'll never take what you are taking now ever again. Because we can show you scientifically, ours works and stays fresh and potent well beyond the point where it takes to travel to the cellular level. And so I want to share something with you that's very, very important. Because again, I've made a bold statement. We need omegas. In fact, Google omega-3. Go to pubmed.com. Google anything you want to do with omegas. And there is not one doctor, there's not one medical institution, there's not one person who understands health that will deny that our body needs omegas. Not what they can't do is prove that the omega you're taking is working. And the Cochrane Report is a global recognized institution. They have tested over 112,000 individuals through multiple trials. And they have proven that omega on its own does very little or has no effect on a human being. So you are simply wasting your money. And this is even further evidence that the average data that has been gathered, this is the Indian data, by the way. And the question you may be asking yourself, who can take this? Absolutely everybody, from the mother with child to the person taking their last breath. And you can see some numbers. I'm not going to go too deeply into these numbers, but you can see on the left-hand side, these are the results or the gathered data of individuals that were not taking any aspect of omega whatsoever. The middle column, the second column, is showing you those who are at least making the right intention, understanding they need to have that content, and still not a great improvement whatsoever. But when you use the balance oil, you can see because of the polyphenols, it has a dramatic effect. And that's why I would encourage each and every one of you, as you become a customer, as you like the idea of being one of those individuals that helps us share this message in India, encourage everybody to take the test, because it's the test that will validate and prove. And when your customers have hard evidence, your customers will stay longer. And so with our product, we know we can take customers from a pro-inflammatory status within 120 days to an anti-inflammatory status. So after 120 days, you take a second test and you can see the results of mine. 2.1 back in balance. So who can take this? I've already mentioned it. Everybody you know, from a lady with child in her womb to the individual who's taking their last breath. And the health claims continue. These are not Zinzino's health claims. These are approved by the EFSA, the European Food Safety Association. In fact, there is over 165 claims that we are allowed to share. But on the screen right now, you see 15 of the top claims that are approved by the importance of consuming omega-3. Look at the three green circles to your left. I call them the big three: normal heart, normal brain, and normal immune function. If those are important to you and you are not taking omegas, then you should not be hesitating and asking the person who invited you, I need to get tested and I need to be on these products. So that's our product opportunity. So we have many more products around the world, but as we open a market, we always come in with the test and our flagship product. And as we build the customer base, and the company will start to release more of our key products over the coming months. But you may be here because you are thought enough of. They feel that you have influence. They know you're an entrepreneur. They know you're hungry. They know that you want more out of life. I don't know where you fit into that equation, but there is a business opportunity attached to this. So let's go into the opportunity. Test-based nutrition is the next mega trend. Now, right now, people are consuming around the world omega products already. So we don't even have to go and create a demand. In fact, over 500 million people take omegas daily. Unbeknown to them, though, they are taking a product that doesn't even work. We've tested nearly 2% of that market, and 97% of them failed the independent blood test. And yet that market today produces a 40 billion a year business. Zinzino is part of the next mega trend that will be in the next 20, 30 years. Omegas will be a $200 billion a year business. We will not be the only company that does omegas, but we'll be the only company that has test-based nutrition. So we'll be in a market, a bit like Uber. There's a lot of taxis, but Uber brought an app. There's a lot of films and cinemas that are out there, but Netflix brought the cinema to your home. There's going to be a lot of mega companies out there, but Zinzino is the only test-based pharmaco-nutritional company on planet Earth, and India, you now have access to it. So how do you be part of our business? How do you start your own franchise in health and wellness? Well, very simply, you'll choose a business pack. A bit like when I owned a restaurant. I wanted to be a chef. So I needed to either work for somebody or get my own restaurant. Now, if I'm going to work for somebody, I don't need any investment. But then again, my potential will always be limited. So I chose to buy a restaurant. And before I had customers, before I had staff, I had to find a location. I had to borrow the money to buy the brick and mortar. Then I could start to think about building my customer base. This is no different, but it's so inexpensive that you are not buying a brick and mortar business. You are buying an online franchise that you have access to a multilingual website that has your products on. And so you don't only build in India, you can build in nearly 100 other markets. But to get started in India, you have 3 options. We call it the mini Ascent oil. It's about 8,500 Indian rupees. You're going to get 1 test and 1 bottle of oil. That's for you. Entrepreneurs need to get prepared. If you just want to test for you and get 1 test and bottle of oil, let me be bold. Be a customer. Just be a customer. We'd rather you be a customer. But if you're ready to get going, you're going to want other tests. You're going to want more product to get it into the hands of people so we can create stories fast in the Indian market. So we have a better balanced partner kit, 21,000 Indian rupees. You get 2 tests and 3 bottles of oil. But here's the one I would encourage you to invest in. We call it the ultimate practitioner kit. Yes, it's a significant investment, but it comes with a refund. 14 tests, 14 bottles of oil, maybe for you, your spouse, your children, and then you'll have some for your immediate friends or influencers that you can test. But when you get 25 bottles of oil in the hands of customers, and when you've got a whole year to do that from the day you make your initial investment, the 13th month, you will get all your money refunded. So that's how you get started. Then we got to understand we have an ongoing monthly overhead. If you're a business owner, you already know that. If you're an employee, understand the premises that you go to work in, has to pay a price for. Maybe it's a lease, maybe it's a rent, maybe it's owned. See, employees don't have entrepreneurs' mentality. So they have to learn how to be a business owner. And to be a business owner, there's monthly outgoings. And here it's 5,200 Indian rupees a month. And here you very simply are having access to your back office being managed. You get your own product each month, mobile applications, tracking mechanisms, logistics of shipping your product for 5,200 Indian rupees a month. But here's the good news. Not only your customers, but even you can get that waived. Why? Once you go and get 10 bottles of oil into the hands of real customers, your 5,200 Indian rupees is no more. You only pay for the shipping. And your customers can get the product for free. So if I was your customer in a northern region and I was one of your customers and you had 3 others, then the customer will be able to get their product for free also. So you can build this initially part-time around your busy life so you don't have to jeopardize anything. And I will say this with all the heart and sincerity. I know many regions are in lockdown right now. That is the opportunity. That is the opportunity for you to stay safe and get people online in their own homes. And you can build a business because you can work directly from home. So you don't have to be risking your well-being. Yes, play a part in the local market and do what you can to serve your people and help where we can. But you can build a business from home that will help many, many more. And you can work with people that you want to work with. So let's talk about the first 2 months of what you will be doing. If you choose to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a customer, that's fine. If you want to be part of this wellness revolution that will impact the Indian market, see yourself in that purple circle. Put your name in there. And in the first 30 days, we're going to show you how we're going to get 4 bottles of oil into the hands of real customers. You're going to make some retail commission and you're going to get a fast start bonus. They're going to incentivize you to take action fast. Well, with your cash commission and your bonus, you're going to make around 18,000 Indian rupees for just going getting 4 bottles of oil into the hands of real customers who sign up on a subscription in your first 30 days. Now, we're going to start to share that franchise idea with people you know. And by the way, not everybody wants a business. Not everybody sees what you see. The masses generally don't see it until it becomes the norm. But it's the visionaries who create the pathway for the masses to follow. Well, here's the good news, India. We've already proven the pathway. And now we're looking for those who want to help us lay that path throughout the Indian market. Well, let's go and share it with 4 people you know. Maybe in a northern region, maybe in a southern region, maybe outside of India, maybe in Europe, maybe in the United Kingdom, maybe across the pond in America, maybe down under Australasia. You are not restricted to where you find your connections. Help 4 people do that though. You're going to be called a fast silver. They see the vision. They want to be a business owner. They make the appropriate investment. They partner with you. You're now called a fast silver, and you're now going to make 13,500 Indian rupees. But here's an opportunity. You do that, and you do that in your first 30 days. There is a doubling of that. There's a promotion that was run. I believe it's still running. I will confirm that, but I believe that's still running now. If it's not, you still got a significant amount of money for just helping 4 people join your business venture. Now, remember those 4 bottles of oil? Let's add 6 more to that. So you have 10 customers who are on subscription on a bottle of oil. You're now going to be called X Team Express. Now, through every one of those areas, Smart Bronze, get 4, Fast Silver, get 4, X Team Express, get 10. There's other benefits that will be explained through the compensation plan. I'm just showing you the fast start rewards monetary wise. But when you get 10 customers in total, you're going to earn another 13,500 Indian rupees. And the more customers you get, the more retail commission you earn and a higher percentage of retail commission. So from 0 to 24 bottles, you'll earn 10% retail. You get 25 and upwards, you'll earn 20% retail on every bottle of oil you start to sell. But you get 50 bottles and above, you'll earn 25%. But your monthly residual just on your customers is 2,800 Indian rupees. You get to 100 bottles into your market, you're going to earn 30%. But here's exciting news. You're going to be recognized, you're going to be rewarded for a one-time bonus of 800,000 Indian rupees or 8 lakhs. That's in addition to your customer bonus. That's in addition to your retail commission bonus. 100 bottles. Do you think working with people that are on this call with a company that's already been there and licensed and registered and in head office in New Delhi and warehousings in Mumbai, and we are shipping on your behalf, do you think in a year we together can get 100 bottles of oil into real hands of customers? When you do, you're going to make significantly around 40 to 48,000 Indian rupees per month just on 100 bottles of oil on subscription. And it doesn't stop there. You don't have to stop. There's no glass ceiling. You are unlimited to how many people you help. But you are limited to how much time you have. So some people like to focus on just getting customers, making some very life-changing money. But there's others who want to duplicate and help others do the same. Well, then we move into team building. And team building is about replicating what you have already done. Get 4 customers, get 4 partners, get 10 customers. That's called silver. And we don't want you to stop at 10 customers. We want you to continue till you get at least 25. One, because you qualify for that refund of that 88,500 Indian rupees. Plus you unlock all of the compensation plan once you have 25 bottles as soon as possible. So let's duplicate that then. You're called a silver, 4, 4, 10. Help 4 people do that. 2 on your left, 2 on your right. You're called an executive. That's 45,000 Indian rupees on a monthly basis. Well, you help 4 people do that again. Teach others what you have learned how to do. That we have a system, we have a leadership, we have trainings. You're not going to be doing this on your own. Those who try to do it on their own don't succeed. Those who learn how to work as a team and learn from those who've gone before and learn the right processes build solid and build faster. We'll help 4 people go executive. You're called a diamond. And you're going to make on average 2.7 lakhs per month as a diamond. I know most definitely, whether it be here in the United Kingdom, United States, around Europe and India, 2.7 lakhs per month changes lives. And for many, it brings parents home. If your dream's to be a full-time parent, you've built a business on the side that bought your full-time job back, and now you have time back to invest in a business that had set you free. Help 4 people go diamond, you're called a crown, and you're going to earn around 10.8 lakhs per month. And we haven't even touched the surface. We haven't even got halfway up the corporation compensation plan. But even at executive, platinum, diamond, we've changed lives. What is it that you want out of life? If you could design your life in the next 12, 18, 24 months, Are there things that you want that if you could help other people become healthy, that you got remunerated because you were the person who shared the product with people? Would you change some things in your life? Well, because it's all to do with timing. Right now, we're sitting around 4 lakhs in total global customers per month. But we're going to 100 million by 2050. We're approaching 100 million, 1 million in the next couple of years. The greatest growth has not happened. The biggest success stories haven't even happened. And now we've just opened India, which I truly believe will be an influential catalyst to take us to 1 million and beyond. So, is health important to you? Maybe you just want to become a customer. Take advantage of our best in-class products at the lowest possible price by being on subscription. And maybe you want it for free because you are happy to refer 4 other people and then yours is delivered to your door for a small shipping cost. Maybe you've grasped the vision. Maybe you understand everything I've said, that the world is the sickest it's ever been. And there's something we can do about it. And you are inspired and moved to be part of that wellness revolution. You love the idea of helping others, but helping you and your family too. Creating something once that you get paid forever and a day on because it's residual. You love the idea of being mentored or being part of a team that can help you develop your own personal skill sets and travel the world with one another when you achieve ranks to share the dreams and memories and the new ones that you create together. Well, very simply, get back with the person who invited you. Let them know whether you're a 1, you want to be a customer, a 2, you'd love the idea of being a partner, or 3, you need more information. So I'll hand over back to my host today, Hital, who's been instrumental in kicking off the Indian market. And I know he's preparing for an exciting Hindi presentation right now.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation. A lot of information shared. I'm sure all of you guys got copious notes out of that. So with that, we end this first half of our evening today, and we will wait